Here's Johnny.
Welcome to my nightmare.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Come play with us, Daddy.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Fear Freaks Podcast. My name's Braden.
I'm Destiny.
And we are the Fear Freaks. Tonight, we are talking about Stranger Things, Season 4, Volume 1. We are opening on a record right now in terms of viewers. We've got a whopping nobody in here. So, oh, wait, we got one. Sorry, I just saw the comment. I just saw the comment dink. 5-star, what's going on, my dude? How are you? 5-star actually did tune in last week to the first. I was only in it for about 20 minutes, but my group, the Lays Boys on Facebook, on YouTube. I can't even talk right now. Oh, Misael's also here. Misael's here as well. What's going on? He's one of the Lays Boys. I'm going to be on a stream with him after this. So, what's up, guys? How we doing? We got 3 people in here. Nice.
Yay.
So, all right, we're going up now as we go on, but like literally, like normally it's like as the opening starts, it like gives people an opportunity to come on in here. And I saw like a 0 as I was going through the opening, so I was like, we got a fucking record going on right now. Yes. I don't think we've ever opened on 0 viewers. Never. Not even on the first episode.
Aren't excited.
Not even on the first episode ever. Or people haven't finished this yet. I mean, normally you and I do get into pretty heavy depth, like, when we talk about stuff, especially things that have been out. Now, this has been out for a couple weeks. So want to go ahead and disclose it has been. It's June 8th. It's been
Really?
out, yeah, it came out May 27th, I think.
Wouldn't that be last Friday?
11 days. It's been out for 11 days.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I mean, shit. I mean, I told you that I would have fucking binged this on that Friday had I not waited to watch it with my family. Oh, and then not only did I wait to watch it with my family, I went out with Abby one night. They stayed home and they just finished it all without me. So I was the one playing catch up. I know, right? Like, what do you expect them to do? Wait? Fuck, I wouldn't have waited. So, I can't really blame that, But yeah, 5-star. I apologize if you were here. I didn't see the person watching ding until literally after. Then there must just be something going on with like the algorithm because I didn't see anybody. So Misael says he hasn't even started it yet, so he's probably gonna get up on out of here. And then Byron says I finished it, but no spoilers. What are you talking? No spoilers. We're talking spoilers. I'm putting the disclaimer out right now. Spoilers will be discussed during this episode. So if you have not seen it and you're waiting for volume 2, you're fucking crazy because, like, I mean, this show, I don't understand how they do it. Destiny and I had to find other stuff to talk about during our pre-show conversation because I just finished the last episode, like 10 minutes ago, like give or take.
Right, yeah. Right before we really started.
I just finished the last episode. So I've got, at least the finale pretty fresh in my brain. And it does end in like, there are certain characters that it ends with a cliffhanger on that we're not necessarily sure is going to happen or occur when Volume 2 comes out. Volume 2 comes out, it's only 2 episodes. So, it's episodes 8 and 9 of this season. But fucking episode 9 is 2 hours and 19 minutes. Like, and I'll take it. After seeing this season, I'll take it. I'll take a 2 hour and 19. I mean, they've been able to fucking do it with just the like almost every episode this season was like movie length, right?
Yeah, I think like the runtime is usually like an hour and 15 minutes, and then episode 7 was like an hour and 40 minutes. So they're pretty long for like a series, I guess.
Yeah, no, I mean for a series, but I just don't know how they do it. I truly mean it. I don't know what the writer's room is like. I don't know where they get these ideas from. I don't understand how they're able to keep everybody engaged how they do. The storytelling this season has been, I mean, in every season, has been perfect. Like, I'm engaged with these characters because obviously we know them from the previous seasons, but like right now, I just don't know. Destiny, give your thoughts on season 4, episode 1, volume 1 of Stranger Things. Sebastian, what's going on, man? How are you? I see you in here. And Byron, how you doing?
Hey. So Braden is the one that sent me the trailer for season 4, and he was like, "Oh my god, it looks so good." And then I watched it, and I was like, I don't know. I kind of felt like a disconnect almost because it's been so long since season 3, and I was just like, I don't know if I can really get like excited for it. And as it was leading up, I wasn't getting excited, but then I started seeing stuff about it on Twitter, and I was like, fuck, if I don't want anything spoiled for me, I need to watch this right now. And so I started it Sunday at like 3 p.m. and then I finished it the next day after work, but I binged most of it that same day because I couldn't stop watching it. And I stayed up till like 11 p.m. watching it, and I couldn't go to bed because I was so excited. I loved it. I thought it was great. It completely like blew my expectations, I guess, because like I wasn't that excited for it. But then as I was watching it, I just kept wanting to watch it, and it's all I want to talk about right now. Like at work, it's all I talk about. With my friends, it's all I talk about. It's probably like annoying at this point. But I'm just so excited. I'm happy you finished it so we can actually talk about it because I've been on his ass because he hasn't finished it yet.
Dude, like literally there was like one day that her and I didn't talk, and literally like the next day I like woke up. I mean, you normally message me pretty early in the morning too, like when you like wake up. So it's like I wake up, like sometimes I don't get up until like 7:30, and I'll like look at my phone to like check notifications. It's like Destiny Falconer messaged you at fucking 5:30 a.m. I'm like, the fuck?
Hi. Again.
So, but like literally messages me at 5 in the morning and goes, "Hey, did you finish it yet?" And I'm like, "No, I have not had the chance to finish it yet." And then like I feel like that was why she like wasn't responding to a degree, because like she just like was like, "Go fucking finish it before you talk to me."
No, literally. What else should I talk about then?
Yeah,
what else is there to discuss?
Yeah, you're like, because all I want to do, and I was kind of like getting that vibe as like you were like messaging me. I was like, she really wants to talk about this. I feel like if I respond with anything else, she's just gonna be like, you know what? I'm not even gonna respond to him at this point.
I'll try
like,
again tomorrow.
Yeah, try again. It'll just be like, you know what, Braden, I'll fucking talk to you after you've watched this. But the cool thing is she did get to witness my true reaction to the finale like 10 minutes ago. Like I pulled it up and we watched the ending together, and my God, like the show, like I remember, as Destiny said, sending her the trailer of season 4, and I was already excited. I wasn't really like, you know, as the show came up, like I was just kind of like, oh yeah, okay, like I'm gonna watch it this weekend sometime, I'm gonna start it. Like Stranger Things like isn't always like a, oh my God, I need to watch it right now. But this season I literally was so excited for, and like when I started the first episode, I mean, it was kind of a slow start, I can't lie. The first 2 episodes are definitely reestablishing some stuff. Obviously the ending of season 3 ended with 11 moving across country. We find out now to California with the buyers and everything. And the one thing that I got to say about this season right now is the connecting of all the different characters of who's going to be where. There are a lot of characters that, you know, were together at the or in the finale at the shopping mall of season 3 that are now completely dispersed in fucking some different parts of the world. Like,
literally.
All of them are all in different parts of the world. And honestly, it's kind of like making me, because I know like throughout the season, like they say that the portal or the doorway to the upside down opens like where the murders are occurring. I'm not gonna lie, I actually thought I thought that like for whatever reason, now this can happen in the finale, but I thought that there was going to be something like a doorway and they all meet in the upside down, you know what I mean? Or like there's like a interconnected thing. But I honestly, I'm kind of throwing that theory out of the water. I'm just kind of like throwing it out of the water. I'm throwing it in the garbage because I just don't see that really making sense, But yeah, go ahead. I feel like I'm talking too much. I want to hear what you have to say, and I'll kind of like bounce off of it. What do you want to start with? Pick what you want to start with.
I don't know if you want to just try to go like episode by episode from what you can remember. Maybe like try to discuss it kind of timeline accordingly. I don't know.
Can you hear this?
You don't sound any different. Talk again.
Hello? Can you hear this?
No.
Is my mic not plugged in? Have I just been like... No, it's definitely plugged in, I think.
Like,
okay.
I can hear you, but it doesn't...
Either way, I'm going to just keep talking.
Oh, it sounds a little bit louder now, actually. I think that did something.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Episode 1.
We're getting established with all our characters again.
Hi, Menelect, how are you?
Hi. So we're catching up with all our characters, and then we're introduced to a couple of new characters, and one of them being my favorite. Can you guess who it is?
It's Eddie. Obviously. I did see your Facebook post on that, and I was like, who the fuck is this guy? And then like I figured it was like, a new character. Mm-hmm. But like I thought I'm not gonna lie, at first I thought Eddie was just kind of like one of those throwaway characters, but I'm like, wait a minute, we're fucking in Stranger Things right now. He's not just gonna be a throwaway character. Go on.
Yeah, we're introducing them our new characters, and like you said, we're kind of establishing that this is gonna be set in like different locations, even though they're all of our same characters. So it's cool to see that, just to get like familiar with our characters again, especially because it's been so long since season 3. And we're introduced to the Hellfire Club, which is cool. I like that they're still playing D&D, and I like that D&D still like holds over this hold over the franchise itself, because like these characters that are in the board game are also like sort of what they're dealing with in real life, like in season 1, which is awesome. And yeah, what else happened? I mean, the crazy stuff happens at the end of the episode. So we're just getting established our new characters. We meet Eddie, Chrissy, Argyle, which he's also pretty funny. I like him. And yeah, we see Max. Max is really struggling with everything that's happened with Billy, which is understandable, I think. That's pretty fucking sad. But we get to like see that she's not really doing too well, and I really like that this season, even though like everyone is, I would say, pretty important to the season, I think this is really Max's season. Like Max really, is like a really main focus, which makes sense as to like what's going on in the later episodes. But I really like that we play a big focus on Max, and you get to see how she was struggling after the death of Billy. I thought that was pretty nice to see, like a character dealing with trauma, and this whole season has to do with trauma, which is also pretty cool. And we see that, Elle is not fitting in. Understandably, she is not, she wasn't raised normally. But we get to see that she's being bullied, which is pretty upsetting. I like that letter she's writing to Mike, and she said, my grammar is getting better, as she says something about her grammar is getting good as well, or something like that. It made me laugh. But yeah, we're pretty much just getting established with our characters again, which is just so good to see them again. As soon as they came on screen, I was pretty happy.
Oh yeah, like I mean, just seeing these characters and just seeing like, kind of like what they've been up to, and just seeing where they're at currently, it's just like you're right back in the Stranger Things, world. The one thing I hate watching shows with my parents for is that they or my mom, likes to fucking skip the opening. Like she was like, skip it. And I'm like, why? It's like, you fucking get the music.
The music is so good.
Like, and my dad even was like, no, you don't fucking skip the opening. Like, I mean, some shows have great themes, and Stranger Things definitely has one of the best themes. I actually, on the Spotify soundtrack, if you look up like the Stranger Things playlist, the trailer music with the Separate Ways. Like they
Dude,
have
it's so fucking good.
I had it on repeat while I was walking through the city today, and I'm just like literally in my mind in the Stranger Things world.
No, literally, whenever I hear like I'm a I won't say like a big fan of Journey. I don't know every song that they've ever made, you know, not like that. But I do like Journey from what I have heard. And I already like that song a lot. And then the trailer, I was like, oh man, that's so cool. And then I got on Spotify and I've been listening to like the soundtrack and all like the music and stuff. And I hearted that version so I could like have it in my library. Because like listening to that makes me feel like I could do anything. Like I could go destroy someone right now because it just feels so like empowering. I don't know what it is, but the way it's like cut and stuff, it's amazing. I'm really glad you pointed that out because I listened to that in the shower earlier. I was like,
yeah, like, and first of all, big fan of Journey anyway, and I love the song Separate Ways. But like, you know, and honestly, as soon as I saw the trailer and I heard like that, I'm like, this is Separate Ways. I'm like, oh my god, yeah, we're still in the '80s, obviously. Like,
yeah.
you know, like so, and because the soundtrack, like all the music that they decide to use in this show is fucking masterful. And before I forget, I gotta just give credit to everybody who is involved in the special effects department, the camera, the lighting, all of that shit, because my fucking god, shit's top notch. I mean, it's kind of expected at this point going into like a new season of Stranger Things that the effects are top notch. But I mean, I'm also going to credit the writing. I mean, literally the writing throughout the season, it engages you. Like I'm like looking at these, and for my Game of Thrones fans, you guys are going to know exactly what I'm talking about. But I'm looking at these episodes, and there are 7 episodes right now, and they're all feature length. And I'm like sitting here, I'm like, hey, Game of Thrones writers, this is the fucking kind of like, you know, story that you should be telling if like you're going to make the final season 6 episodes. Fucking make that finale 2.5 hours long. We're only in season 4 or 5. And they're making these like, you know, they're really trying. And honestly, I do think that a reason that they maybe wanted to extend on it a little bit is A, because they had time because of COVID. And B, because they were like, you know what? We only have one more season coming. We really need to kind of finish our story, and we need to, you know, I think keep people excited for the final season. So we're going to make season 4 just as good as any other season. I mean, I don't know where season 4 is going to rank right now because we have to finish it. You know, like,
Yeah.
I mean, that the 2.5 hour finale could be the most boring fucking finale in TV history, which I hope not. I mean, I doubt. I truly doubt. It's like I'm at like a -0 that's gonna happen. Like,
Yeah.
Because there's not even a percentage that I can think of where, yep, the Stranger Things finale, because they've nailed it on the finale every season, every single season. So it really also gets me excited for season 5. But yes, I agree with you in terms of like, you know, the characters. God, what the fuck's his name? Eddie. I love Eddie. I love him to death. He's got that personality that, you know, you just care for him. You just care so much about him, and you can see how much he cares about these kids too. It's like, you know, he's not a cool kid. I mean, he's really cool. Like, he's cool to us.
He's cool to us, but he's not cool in this show. He's a freak.
Yeah, he's a freak. He's a dweeb. He, you know, dresses like, you know, fucking Slash, I feel like would in the 80s. Like, you know, like I just swear, like he's just like, he's so charismatic, and he is just so out there in terms of personality that us audience members just cannot help but to like him.
Definitely.
So
just like as soon as he's on the screen, I was just like, hello? Because he was in that part of the trailer, which I only watched that trailer once. I didn't want to keep rewatching it. I was just like, one and done. He's in the trailer. He's where he like does this part in the trailer. But still, I didn't even think anything about it. And then as soon as he came on screen, I was like, who is this? Because I'm in love already. And then I got a viral tweet because I tweeted about him. I was pretty happy about that.
Yeah,
but
go ahead. Y'all can go retweet it, look at it, like it.
It's
It's
somewhere
on her
now.
Twitter.
It's down there.
Somewhere.
I was pretty proud of myself with that, even though I did literally no work, but still, it was pretty cool. But as soon as he was on screen and when he's hopping on the tables and he's like signaling out like each group, it's like every line delivery he has too is just great. And he's like, and the parties. I was just like, yes, yep, you got me.
I mean,
I am rooting for you now.
yeah, I mean, fucking like literally just the character. Like he's so good. And I was just sitting there and I'm like, something's gonna happen, and he's obviously gonna be important to the season. And like then like we start seeing Kendall starting to have all. Was it Kendall? Am I
Chrissy?
right on? Huh?
Chrissy?
Chrissy, you know what? I know a Kendall Cunningham, so that's why I thought I was like, wait a minute, hold
Kendall,
on.
is that
I'm
you?
like, yeah, Lucy Cunningham. She, am I right on that?
What did you say?
You said Lucy. Who the fuck
Chrissy.
Chrissy. I thought you said
Chrissy.
Lucy. I had that fucking. I was hearing the clock.
You have Cunningham right,
Yeah, I know. Like that's like I was like, wait. I was like, why does Kendall Cunningham sound so weird? That's one of Abby's friends. So like that's. I was like, wait a minute, hold on. Chrissy Cunningham. Chrissy Cunningham. When she meets Eddie and stuff. At first, I thought that Eddie was gonna get in trouble because the fucking jock was gonna find Chrissy hanging out with him or something. I thought that maybe, I mean, like how the cheerleader, like she like shows, like cheerleaders just show their like cute personality, like when they're like with you, but then they can really turn your life upside down if they say one thing about you. I honestly thought that like that was going to kind of like be something that happened. Like she would be with him in the woods and then like something would get back to the school, or like she would be seen with him and then it would just be he gets made fun of or whatever. But it didn't go that way at all. I mean, like, I really liked that dynamic that they kind of built in that first episode. And then like as it kind of like led into the final scene of the episode, like I texted you as soon as the fucking produced by whoever came on screen. I like literally my family and I were all sitting there. We just fucking looked, like we all just like looked at each other and we were like, fucking holy hell. Because like the fucking bones are like, cracking and like, and for any horror fan here, Miss 80s says that Eddie's a horror fan, no doubt. Oh, I wouldn't doubt it. Maybe not after anything that he goes through in this.
Literally, though.
But,
I agree, though. I think that little scene at the table, because he's selling her drugs because she's having visions. She's seeing this creature. She's seeing clocks and, she's hearing stuff her mom is saying to her. And so you can see she's going through something. And so she wants to maybe buy some weed or something to kind of help get rid of like that stress or like whatever is causing it. And so Eddie's the one that's selling her the drugs. And like you're saying, I like that scene because, she's like, you're not like what I imagined. He's like, what, like mean and scary? And she's like, yeah. And he was just like, you're like, I could say the same thing about you, like you're not who I thought you would be too. And that was just really cute because like they're just cute people and I really like them together. And it obviously does not work out, but those little interactions that they have, I feel like, because I heard some people said like Eddie from that first scene that we see him, they're like, oh, I don't know about him, but I feel like that moment really shows like he's playful and he is charismatic. Like he fucking throws himself off the bench acting like he just got like shot in the heart and stuff, and she's like, what the fuck? And he's like, is there leaves in my hair? And he's like joking around. It's just a couple of minutes and it makes them both so likable. And you really are rooting for these two. But I think once we get to Max's house and you see that they're going into his trailer, you can feel like something's not right. Like something is going to happen. I was like, oh no, I don't want it to happen.
Yep. No, I definitely agree. And like, I know a lot of people are comparing this season to Nightmare on Elm Street, rightfully so, because this is a huge callback, or a huge, not callback. I don't know why that's definitely the wrong word, but
like
it's a huge homage to A Nightmare on Elm Street. You know, like I mean, like you can tell that the Duffer Brothers did their homework on A Nightmare on Elm Street and wanted, because Stranger Things is really known for doing that. And honestly, I think that's why movie lovers love this show so much, is because it references, like, you know, season 3 was heavy on Invasion of the Body Snatchers and, you know, Terminator and all those, like, you know, classic sci-fi. And this season was definitely the most horror-like, which is honestly why I think it's going to take the icing on the cake for me, because it's just the most, like, it's gory, it's very bloody. I'd say bloodier than we've seen in pretty much any season.
Yeah, it's like just the imagery is all pretty, like, I wouldn't say like scary, but it is scary. You know, like it's definitely scarier than other stuff we've seen. Chrissy's death scene, and like you said, it's definitely the whole season is a huge homage to Nightmare on Elm Street, but hers is so like it's so like comparable to like Tina's death, because you know I never thought Chrissy was going to be like a final girl or anything, but I thought she would be in the show a lot more. I was not expecting her to go out first episode, but the way she goes out is so brutal, and I love that whole scene because you get to see like what is happening to them. You get to see the whole finger thing, and then how like she's in a trance. Also, Eddie trying to wake her up is so, it's sad, but it's also funny because he's like, I don't like this anymore. Chrissy, wake up. He's like slapping at her face and she's not doing anything. And for her to fucking levitate, he's just, oh my God. And
Yeah.
then fucking cracking everything and then fucking slammed up into the wall. Amazing.
Yeah,
I was like, oh my God.
yeah. I swear, like I think that as soon as I saw him, like as soon as I saw Vecna like putting like his hand like over, I was like, she's about to get lifted off the ground. I'm like, she's gonna do it, and it's gonna be Nightmare on Elm Street. I mean, I got nightmare vibes even like when she was like walking down the stairs, and fucking Vecna sound honestly almost just like Freddy Krueger would. Like, you know, I just like get like the voice vibes. Speaking of Freddy Krueger, we're going to talk about something in a second. We're going to talk about it. I know. But what do you call it? Yeah, episode's phenomenal. The opening, the final moments of episode 1 just makes you want to click next episode right then and there.
Literally.
Now before I forget, because I know I will eventually, I know I'll fucking forget if I don't mention it right now that I just said Nightmare on Elm Street, Robert fucking Englund is in this fucking show, and it is amazing, and he still has it. He is so good in the scene that he has. He's so good. And I actually saw on Variety today that they're actually, some people are talking about having him as like, you know, a guest star award for an Emmy. Give it to him. Give it to him right now.
He's so good because Nancy and Robin, they go there, which is a homage to Silence of the Lambs, which is awesome. I was like, oh, yes. Silence of the Lambs, this looks fucking cool. They go and visit him, Victor Creel, because after Chrissy dies, Eddie's uncle's the one that finds her, and so Eddie ran, understandably, because like you can't explain what you just saw without it sounding fake. Like, she was levitated off the ground and then her fucking bones started to break. That is not what we know as possible. So I understand why he would run away, because like, who's going to believe that? But then, you know, Eddie is the first suspect, of course. He was, you know, last one that saw her and was at the freaking trailer with her. But they go and visit him because Eddie's uncle mentions Victor Creel, which I like because we're already like establishing things. Even every time I think of Victor Creel, I want to say Victor Crowley. And so I'm going to like try to catch myself to make sure I don't, because I want to say Victor Crowley so bad, but Victor Creel. And it's a great scene. He steals the freaking show with that scene. Obviously, he has like his little monologue going on. And I love the reveal of his eyes, even though I'm pretty sure that was in the trailer. Or like, I remember seeing the way he looks.
I did see that. I honestly thought it was like an edit for whatever reason, but like, I mean, yeah, no, he does look like that. But I actually like that you brought up that the Silence of the Lambs, you know, of like, it's literally the exact cinematography of them walking up to, yeah, it's phenomenal. Go on. I don't mean to interrupt you.
Yeah, so we get to see, what kind of happened to Victor Creel's family, because he's the one that was accused of murdering his family, because the same thing happened to his wife, and his daughter died, and then his son died.
Mm-hmm.
And so we get to see what kind of played out whenever that night happened with him. And so he's the one that's like to blame. But that scene leads up to, I think, the best scene of the whole franchise. Whole franchise? No. But definitely of this season so far is in the Dear Billy episode with Max at Billy's grave. Because while they're there, they find out, or he says, like, an angel is what brought him back to, like, the real world. And they find out it was music that did it. It wasn't an angel. It was, like, Ella Fitzgerald singing. And so, they find out music is, like, sort of the gateway back to the real world, which comes in handy because Max is, cursed by Vecna, and she's fucking floating up there. The scene, I think, is absolutely amazing. I didn't cry watching it the first time, but whenever I rewatched it today, I cried. And if I watch a video about it, I will cry. If I just watch that clip, I start crying because it's such a good fucking scene.
I fucking agree. And Good Real here says, hey guys, episode 4 equals best of the series, hands down. He also says, hey, back to the old setup. Love that setup.
Thank you. I thought I would switch it up. Plus, I don't have shells over there, and I don't have anything else Stranger Things, but besides this, so I wanted to display them.
It's something. Got my Halloween
shirt.
Horror Night shirt on from when Stranger Things was at Horror Nights a few years ago. So, what do you call it? No, I gotta agree that the episode was, it was emotional. It's honestly, it's hard not to get choked up while you are watching watching her read the note that she wrote for Billy.
Mm-hmm.
It honestly, after that episode, like after she successfully got out, I thought that she was gonna fucking die. I thought
Me
that this was
too.
it. I genuinely thought, I'm like, there's no shot. There's no, because she would be the first big character to go. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm glad that her story. That the first half of the season was pretty much her. She was definitely the show stealer there.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like after that, we kind of picked up with some more of the other characters and everything. But that's why there are so many fucking characters in this show. There are so many of them. If you really want to think about it, it's it's crazy. But yeah, just the whole thing, I was honestly tearing up. I was watching it on the plane last night, and I'm sitting there, and I'm sitting it's a packed plane, so I'm sitting next to somebody, and I'm just I'm like
Literally, it's so good because the whole time she's been struggling with depression, and even Vecna was saying something pretty much like suicidal thoughts and stuff like that. And the song choice is fantastic. I've listened to that song probably 50 times since I watched that episode because the song is freaking amazing. And it's just she could have easily died, She could have just let it happen, but she chose to live. And whenever she falls back down and she's like, I'm still here, I'm done. I'm crying.
Yeah.
I'm tearing up right now.
Oh man,
it's so good.
That whole episode was amazing because we also found out we find out what happened to Victor. We get to see those flashbacks, and the guy that actually plays young Victor is actually in Ozark. He has a pretty he has actually it's not the biggest character, but he does I recognized him. I don't know the actor's name, but I was like, oh my God, he's from Ozark. It's so cool to kind of see from other Netflix projects what you might get involved in. I was like, I know him. But yeah, I thought that the whole episode was done very well. Let's talk a little bit about Hopper, because I feel like we haven't really touched on Hopper. Hopper got captured by the Russians. He spends most of the whole season, actually.
The
He spends the whole season, most of the season, spends the whole season in this Russian prison. And like those fucking scenes, man, are very intense. And I also know the one guy, the Russian that he like, you know, kind of becomes buddy with is one of the guys. He's the guy with many faces from Game of Thrones. So I recognize him too. My dad actually caught onto that before I did, which I was shocked with because normally I'm the one to like point out like who's who. Yeah, and my dad was like, it's the guy with many faces. He saw him like he doesn't even have a mustache in the fucking in Game of Thrones, and he saw him with the mustache and was like, guy many faces, like fucking leaped at the screen.
I also think the guy that plays Eddie, Joseph Quinn, I'm pretty sure he was in Game of Thrones as well. Because I was looking at other stuff he was in, and I think it said Game of Thrones, and I was like, well, I'm not watching that just to watch him in some of it.
Which one?
Joseph Quinn. I think he was in it. I'm not sure.
Quinn.
I have not seen it.
I don't know.
He looks barely, like, not different without the long hair, but I was like, whoa. That is crazy. That is the same guy. Because obviously it's not his real hair.
Yeah.
I wish it was. I like that.
No, I mean, what do you call it? But yeah, like I just thought that I was like, and I was happy that his role too. I'm like, I'm always happy to see people that do very well in one show that might be like underrated characters that you don't really think of. I love seeing them really thrive in other shows. And I fucking hope to God that nothing happens to any of these people because they all need to be there for the fucking war that's coming.
For the war that is coming.
They need to be there for the fucking war. They all need to be armed. They all need to fucking grab one of those fucking demon bats and fucking swing them like Steve did. Like,
oh my God. Another scene where I was like, oh my God. Because like Steve is there, you know, by himself for a little bit in the Upside Down. And he's getting attacked by these weird fucking bat things. I was just like, oh no. And then boom, Nancy. Well, they all save the day, but like Nancy is the one that immediately jumps back in the water, which is a great, like, I got Jaws vibes from it because they're in the lake and Steve is right there on the edge of the boat, fucking pulled under, which I knew was going to happen. I was like, oh no, he's about to get pulled underwater, and it gave me Jaws vibes. Got pulled under that water. Nancy, boom. Robin, boom. Eddie, boom. But they all do it, which is great. And they fucking beat those bats' asses, which I love. And when he stands up, he's like bleeding out of his mouth. I was like,
yeah.
Okay.
And he's fucking shirtless down there.
He's
like,
shirtless, and then Eddie puts it, like, gives him a shirt back. It's like, what does he say? Like, have some, what is that word?
Decency or whatever.
Like, yeah, like for your like decency or something like that. I was like,
yeah.
But what a fine man. I mean,
like if this was like the first few episodes of season 1, Steve, oh, fucking get him out of here. Like, get rid of this fucking filth. But I mean, he does have one of like the biggest character arcs. I love the relationship with him and Dustin and how they communicate back and forth with each other, like how they've, you know, become best friends. I loved that in season 3. Like when Dustin walked into the ice cream shop and we meet Robin for the first time, and he like comes out, he's like, Henderson. You know, I just love I love the dynamic between them. And any of like my Marvel fans watching, y'all know that I feel like they did this very much like Infinity War, like Avengers Infinity War. They split up like to try and like save these stones and everything. I mean, I'm sure you know the Infinity Stones, Destiny, but they split up certain characters to like be with one another based on their personality. I love how Steve and Dustin are always like with each other, because they even actually joke on that in the one episode. Like when they're at the house, they're at Victor Creel's house when they're in the main world. Yeah, they're not in the Upside Down yet. But what do you call it? Like they're like, why do we always get paired together? And Dustin's like, what's the problem? And he goes, I just think it's weird. Can we change it up a little bit? Like,
yeah, literally. It's like some Scooby-Doo shit, you know? They always made those jokes in Scooby-Doo too, like Shaggy and Scooby. Why are we always the ones that are together? But I love them, and I love every time Steve is like, I'm always a goddamn babysitter. Always a babysitter. But like he does care for all of them so much. He's just like annoyed that he's always the one that has to take care of them. But It's cute. I freaking love it. I think
know.
it's just sweet.
And I'm sitting here thinking, who the fuck is Nancy gonna end up with in the end? Like, because it's like, I mean, I didn't get any dynamic between her. Like, her and Jonathan do really seem like, when you like see them on screen, like, and you hear them talking about each other, you do kind of feel like the pull kind of, going apart. But, as in like any adventure story, when there are two people that, like spend a whole lot of time together and they go through stuff like this, love is in the air. And the way that Nancy's looking at Steve right now, I'm just kind of like, a lot of people do want her to end up with Jonathan. And I know that we didn't see them interact at all this season.
Yeah.
So we hear them talking about each other. But, I mean, I'm not going to lie, because I love Jonathan and I love Steve. I love them both as characters. And I'm just kind of like sitting here, and you've got Eddie now telling Steve the way that Nancy was looking at him. And I'm just like, ugh. It's like, I don't know. They both have like, their. I mean, I got to say, I'm more of a Steve fan than I am of a Jonathan fan, if I'm being honest. I love them both. But if I kind of really. I just like. I guess I like the environment that Steve gets placed in more, because we're able to see more of like his sarcasm and playful side. Whereas, I mean, and yeah, we get to see that with Jonathan, but I feel like Jonathan's like situations, like, he's kind of like, Mike is like a very serious guy. Like, he's like, we need to save Elle. We need to do this. And then Will is just kind of Mike's right-hand man. Like, he's just kind of there, still like Will, don't hate him, but I mean, in like if I was like ranking characters, he'd probably be pretty low on my list, because his story, I feel like, is kind of concluded with his issues. I mean, he's just now kind of being thrown into this shit because 11 and all the other characters are involved in this. So I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, I could be wrong about all of that, but
No, definitely. I don't know who I would want her to end up with either, because like you said, like, I do love both characters a lot. And like, for me, it adds something to the fact that Natalia Dyer and Charlie Heaton are dating in real life. Like, to me, that adds like something like that's really sweet. And it's almost like one of those things for me for like that 70s show. Like, Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher, love it. But Jackie and Kelso, I don't love it, Like, I was always a Jackie and Hyde stan. Like, I wanted them to end up together. And the fact that it was Jackie and Fez, fuck off. That's besides the point. But it's like one of those things, like, I want Jonathan and Nancy to be together because they're together in real life, but Steve just brings so much personality. And he just brings so much, like, charisma. And I feel like Jonathan is played a little bit more, like, because he's more chill, like, especially this season, he's fucking a stoner. So he's very much, like, calm, really. He doesn't have, like, these big explosions, I guess. But everything that Jonathan was saying as to, like, why he's not really talking to Nancy is because he doesn't want to go to the college she's going to, because he wants to stay and help his mom and help his brother, but doesn't want to tell Nancy that because he doesn't want Nancy to give up on her dreams. So it's like, even though they're at like odds with each other and they're not really with each other, still his reasoning, I think, is really like good-hearted. He doesn't want her to not do what she wants because he doesn't want to do it. And he doesn't want to go chase a dream that's not his. So it's just like, I don't know, like, maybe they should break up, because it's just sometimes what happens when you're just not on the same like track. But it's like, I don't want them to, because I do like them together. But Steve is just, I don't know, something about Steve.
I know, it's just, and I mean, I will say in the side in terms of like what characters went through, obviously those that remained in Hawkins had like, they're the problem solvers. They're the ones that are figuring out really what's going on with what's going on in Hawkins, and I love like how the tagline, like, I think they changed the tagline. Because I remember, like, when the first poster came out, it was like, we're not in Hawkins anymore. Bitch, shut the fuck up. Like,
we're still in Hawkins.
We are still very much in Hawkins. Like, I mean, everything happens in Hawkins. Like, the others, I mean, I will say they did have a very exciting scene within the buyer's house with the
Dude,
shootout and everything. That
I
was
was starting to feel a
crazy.
little bit sleepy. That scene came on. I rose out of bed, said,
Yeah.
"Oh my god, what the fuck?" It was so good. It was so just all of a sudden, they're like, "Oh, the pizza's here." That was fast.
30 minutes
Boom,
or less.
boom, boom, boom. Everything's and that one guy was fucking taking them down like they're nothing. He was like carrying it, which
Mhm.
was amazing. Eventually, he does get shot though, which is pretty sad because I was like, "Damn, he took out a lot of them on his own." But I love that whole scene. And Argyle shows up with the pizza, and they're just like, "Just drive." He's like, "Why does he have a gun?"
Yeah.
Drive.
I mean, like, they definitely, like, they had a really solid tracking shot right there too, in terms of
Uh-huh.
like it like didn't cut for a little while. Like, I mean, when the camera was just kind of like following everything as it's like, all going on, like the kids are running in and then he's going around like the wall to shoot him. I was like, God damn. I'm
It's
like, see,
so
like,
good.
I know, like, it's just exciting. And that's what I mean. I feel like that this show is like really starting to pick up with surprises that is like happening, because it's like you expect it to be their pizza buddy at the door, but it's not. And then that whole shootout happens, and I fucking knew that the guy was gonna pull up and they were gonna get in. They're gonna be like, drive, fucking
Yeah.
drive, and he's like,
Drive.
why does that guy have a gun? Drive.
Literally, and when they're like being followed, they're like, "Get off the road." And he's like still driving, and they're all screaming at him. Fucking swerves really quick. It's just so much fun, and he's freaking the fuck out. Understandably, what the fuck is going on? And he's like, and then once the guy does die, he's like, he's not talking anymore, man. Is he dead? Is there a dead body back there? That was
Yeah,
great.
and then
It was
that
pretty great.
Yeah, and then that, because 11 got, taken to back with Papa and everything like that. There's a secret underground lab. We see, I always forget that doctor's name that comes in and
Brenner or
th-
the other
no,
one?
the other one.
I couldn't tell you either.
Is this him right here? I'm looking at IMDb right now. Is this? It's not. No, it's not Michael Park. I was like, that's not right. No, yeah. So I know Dr. Brenner.
Yeah.
Matthew Modine, fucking, he's a fantastic actor. I mean, love him as just an actor in general. His character is sometimes a little sketch and a little iffy and everything like that. But this season, I actually do feel like that. I feel like every time his character is done, he just gets like kind of sucked right back in. So, I honestly was like pretty happy to see what he was actually doing this season. Like, we actually, season 1, like, he's legit the villain. He's chasing after 11 and everything like that. He's very much trying to capture her for
Mhm.
what? Like, I mean, whether or not it was for this Nina project that, we find out about in this season, not really too sure. But I mean, 11 is kind of floating in a giant machine called Nina, and it's reflecting on really what happened in, and how the Upside Down was actually created, how these worlds were created. And I think it's fucking amazing. Just the connection and really kind of like going full circle. And I like how we're finding it out this season, because I feel like next season it's got to end. They have to figure out a way to officially, like, just like when they think they're gonna close, like, the Upside Down for good,
There's obviously something else that's gonna happen.
there's always something. Yeah, like, it always ends on like that cliff note, like, oh my gosh, like, okay, this sets up for this or whatever. So obviously I feel like now that they know how it was created, they might now, fucking Dustin's gonna be the one to fucking crack. I'm calling it now. Dustin is gonna be the one to crack it.
Dustin always cracks it. He's always on that shit, and I love him for it.
He does say that. He does say that it also in this season. He's like, I'm so sick of always being the one to know everything.
Yeah, and then towards in the last episode, he was like, or maybe the one before. No, it was last episode. He was like, "When are y'all going to trust me?" This is like, seriously, he has figured out so much shit. Like, he knows his shit. Trust Dustin, if anything.
Literally.
I say Dustin and Nancy. Like, Nancy is also, she helps really crack what's going on, and then
feel like I need to get like a shirt that says "In Dustin I Trust," like, you know,
literally, because he fucking knows. And another scene that I just freaking love so much is that which I like that they kind of established this before at Eddie's trailer where Chrissy died. It goes back into the trailer and you see that there is a crack in the ceiling, and you're like, oh fuck, this is gonna lead somewhere. And then it does, because okay, so now Nancy, Steve, Robin, and Eddie, they're in the Upside Down, and they tried going to Nancy's house in there to go get some guns to take care of the shit, but there's no guns, which I like that too, that it hasn't been, like, I guess, updated since the day that Will went missing, which is pretty cool because, like, I don't know, like, that's when, I guess, like, everything really happened, you know? So that was really cool to see, too. But they go there, and then in the regular world, everyone is at Nancy's house. And so I like that they can hear them and stuff, and they're, like, communicating through, like, the light bright, which is pretty awesome. And then they tell them, like, you have to go back. Or you have to go to where a death has happened, because Vecna is opening up more portals and stuff. So they go back to Eddie's house, and I love the whole scene with the fucking sheet hanging down, and then the way that they fall through is so cool. When Robin's like the first one to go, but her hair is falling, and then they fall super fast because gravity.
Yeah.
And then I love too when they get the bed, and Eddie was just like, those stains are I don't know what those stains are, because the bed looks disgusting. But they fall in the bed, and they're like, oh my god, that was so much fun. It just added such, like, a whimsical, like, really fantastical sort of thing going on, and that was really fun to see. And all, like, the stuff when they're touching the lights, and they're like, oh, it tickles, it feels good, and it's, like, all glowy and shit. But then Nancy, which I knew something was coming, because Steve said, see you on the other side. I was like, she's not gonna land on that bed, and she doesn't. She ends up in the pool with dead Barb.
Yeah.
I was like, oh fuck, no, Nancy, no.
Yeah, I mean, that's why, like, I don't know why I was thinking Nancy. Like, I was just thinking of fucking Freddy saying, like, Nancy.
Such a good, like, name too,
Right.
for her name to be Nancy, you know? Like, it could have been anything else, but the fact that it's Nancy
Fucking
and all the
right.
Nightmare on Elm Street vibes, I was like, oh fuck.
I know, it's fucking crazy. Goodreal says that my comparison to Infinity War was spot on in terms of the characters. He says he's Team Steve, and then he also says fifth season will be the final season. Also said it will be the darkest season. So,
Which is cool, because this season was pretty dark. So
this season was very dark. I'm
step
curious
that
to
up.
see what they're gonna, like what they got to do in the next one. But no, what you were saying, I definitely agree. Fucking, like, with the whole Nancy thing, and then not only do we get that, the big thing, we get to see everything it's been connecting to, the creation of Vecna, and really the entire Upside Down. We see the entire Upside Down get created, and this monster that has been really responsible for everything since season 1. Like, I mean, it's and it's fucking number 1.
It's one.
I swear to God, I figured he was number 1. I'm like, we have 2, we have 3. This guy's always showing up. I honestly kind of like, I was like, I don't trust him.
I figured out he was number 1. I figured out he was 1. I did not figure out everything else, though. When he first grabs it, when Elle's doing that game where they fall down, like the chips fall down, and he puts it on 1, I was like, and he's like, oh, I used to know him, like, really well. I was like, oh, he's 1. But did I fucking guess that he was, what's his real name?
Who?
I don't remember his name.
Oh, no, it's the kid.
It's Victor Creel's son.
Yeah.
So you find out he's him, and then you find out he's also Vecna, and they're all the same person. I was just like, shit. Oh no.
Literally, as soon as I saw Nancy there and I saw him talking to 11,
And
I was just like,
yeah.
I was like, I'm like, he's him. I'm like, there's no way. You literally watched me watch the ending. My jaw is on the fucking ground. I'm like, holy shit. And then we get a great Nightmare on Elm Street reference because, he's literally like burning as he's like falling into the upside down, the lightning strike. Really awesome too. You see the lightning strikes hitting him, and then you see just like his skin and the burns and all that. I'm like, oh, he's becoming Vecna right now. It's just like I can't even really call him Vecna anymore. It's number one because the last shot that we get is the dolly in on his wrist and on the bottom of his wrist on his forearm, and it's number one. So that's fucking crazy.
Freaking crazy. So good. And it's so crazy because this has happened. This has happened. And so watching it, nothing's gonna happen to Elle because we see her in season 1, But to see the way it happens and stuff, and she kind of used his own words against him because he's the one that kind of helped because she's not struggling with her powers, but she doesn't really know how to I guess bring them on, fully. And so he's the one that tells her think of something that makes you sad and angry, and she does, and she's able to freaking not destroy him, obviously, because he's still alive, but
yeah,
to send him.
I'm not gonna lie, I honestly thought within those little flashes that she was seeing, I thought that maybe, I know that this is before she knew Mike and she knew all that, but I really thought that she was gonna use some of the bullying stuff that she went through, because that's one thing we didn't talk about is the bullying with that one girl. What a fucking bitch,
Angela.
Yeah, she fucking deserved what she got. I mean, the skate to the fucking nose, she fucking deserved it.
No, literally, the whole time I was just like, oh, I can't wait. I really wanted her to get killed by Vecna. But, I guess there's still a chance she could. I don't think it's going to happen. I feel like her storyline is pretty much done with.
Yeah.
Because she also, Vecna is also, targeting people with, trauma and stuff, which I also think was pretty interesting. Max is dealing with the death of Billy. Chrissy, she's bulimic. That's her whole sort of thing she's going through. The other guy who was on the basketball team, oof, he was being abused at home. So, and then the guy that was reporting with Nancy, he survived a car crash, but I guess didn't help save the other person and just ran away, didn't do anything about it. So they're all kind of struggling with stuff, which I like. And there's that whole scene with Vecna when he's going through and scanning everyone, trying to figure out who to target next. And I like the way it kind of hits because he just gets a headache and then his nose starts bleeding and you're like, oh shit. And it really bothers me. Okay, here's a couple things that bother me. Not bother me show wise, but just bother me character wise, I guess. Elle wasn't a snitch. She did not snitch. She literally said that she tripped and it was an accident and it was pretty much her fault. So she was not a snitch, and then they keep attacking her for being a snitch. She was not, which was, I was like, y'all saw her. She didn't tell on y'all. Also, it's your fucking fault. It is your fault you did that to her.
He literally also he made it very clear that she refused to say who did anything.
Literally, she does not snitch.
As a fucking doctor, you can see a concussion when you fucking see it. I mean, he clearly saw it. They figured it out, and she just wouldn't say anything, but he knew, I mean, and yeah, that's the only thing that really bothered me. But it's because I was watching that scene too, and I was like,
And then also, Chrissy's boyfriend, I forgot his name. He sees his friend die right in front of him, get lifted up out of the water, and bones cracked, and he's still trying to blame Eddie, saying that he is a vessel for the devil. I was just like, dude, are you serious right now? you saw Eddie there. Eddie was not doing anything. He was freaked out too, you know. But they're still, because I was like, oh, Eddie's off the hook. Nope, he's still not off the hook. And that's another thing. Eddie's hiding this whole season because, you know, they think he's the one that killed Chrissy. And then there's like this mob going after him, which is like Chris. It's like the basketball team, basically. Chrissy's boyfriend and like teammates. And they're all going after Eddie. So he really has to stay hiding from them. Which is like, damn, because like we would have gotten more Eddie if that wasn't the case. But he has to be hidden and like separated from so many people. But I was just like, dude, you saw what happened to him. Even Eddie, if Eddie's like a vessel, like what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do to him?
Right. I mean, that like honestly, I didn't like Jason as a character. You're not meant to like him as a character. I mean, I honestly was like, every time him and the basketball hooligans was on screen, I was just like, could we just please get back to the group that we care about? Like, because I don't give a fuck about them. Like, you know, but I mean, because like part of me is like, well, they could have taken that out. Well, they really couldn't have, because he's the one that shows up at the, I mean, really, it's after he shows up and gives his speech like he did in the first episode at the pep rally. I'm like, this kid is just really good at talking in crowds.
He's
people,
good at
like,
hyping
right?
people up.
Like, right? So, but like after that, like we don't really see him again, you know, like, and like then it's like the only reason that happens is because they need the parents now to go out and like the main parents of like, you know, the kids that we care about,
the Hellfire
to
kids
go out and try and be like, okay, where the hell are they? And then that obviously breaks them up even more. And, you know, again, like I understand that there's a lot of different pieces that they need to fill in, but it makes me very excited. This season's not over yet. We've got 2 episodes left. We have 1 episode that's an hour and a half long and another that's 2 hours and 19 minutes long. So literally, in comparison to other seasons, we've got like 3.5 more episodes technically, if we want to be technical.
We still got a lot. And that's another thing. I keep seeing people like complain about like, oh, the Russia side plot was like pointless and like other stuff was pointless. I was like, how can you say it's pointless when the season is not done? Like, that was not the end of that storyline. None of this is like the end of the storylines. They're going to be connected in some way, I'm sure, because it's not done yet.
I am so fucking sick of people grading stuff before they're fucking done finishing it. I'm so sick of it. I'm so sick of people hating on on the smallest things. Like, you know, someone will catch on to like one little thing, and then like I saw some people saying, "Oh, season 4 sucks." I'm like, no, the fuck it doesn't. You're just not paying attention, or you just
There's so much.
you just want attention. I get it. It's okay. We don't need you. We don't need to hear anything else from you. You've said that it sucks. We know that you're going to give some bullshit reason as to why. Go sit down. Just go sit on the bench.
I'm going to keep watching it.
Yeah, go sit on the bench. You act as if like your opinion's going to change my fucking mind on it. I'll tell you if it sucks. I mean, my opinion at least. I'll tell you my opinion if I think it sucks. But no, I
not done.
I very much enjoyed myself with volume 1 of this season. We have another 2 episodes coming, and I'm genuinely excited. And like I said, I was telling you, I'm like, I can't wait 3 weeks right now. Like, I'm just like, imagine like waiting like a year for it.
No.
And I mean, fun fact, they're still working on those 2 episodes right now, like editing wise. They're not done. Like, I mean, that did make me a little nervous. I saw that today from the Duffer Brothers. I was just kind of like, I don't know if I like that, but
don't tell me that.
No, but the finale, they did say that the finale of this season has more special effects in it than all of season 3 combined. So,
which is crazy because that whole finale of season 3 was like pretty fucking crazy, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
I mean, really like it was crazy. I mean, like with like the mall was like the main setting and everything, and you know, you have like it like with the monster and everything, sure, like with like the red flare or whatever the hell it was. Yeah, I mean that's obviously that takes a lot of effects to make that look like realistic and everything. I mean, shit, this whole show takes a lot of effects to make a lot of stuff look realistic. But they said that in the entirety of season 3, the finale of season 4 has the most special effects ever. Like in basically the whole show.
Ever.
So yeah, I mean it does, like I read that today. I'm like, it's June 8th. So y'all got until July 1st. Like, get it moving. Get it together. Like, you know.
I cannot wait. I'm so freaking excited.
I know. I am genuinely like, I'm like, oh, I can't wait to see
That'll
what happens.
be a Friday, right?
It is a Friday. Yeah.
I might have to take that day off.
Yeah. I mean,
I didn't do that this season, but I think I'm gonna have to be like, hey, I can't work Friday. I have to watch this immediately, like as soon as it's there.
Abby's coming to visit that Friday too. Like, she's here for the 4th of July. Like, she originally was flying in Friday night, and now she's flying in on June 30th. And part of me is just like, can you switch your flight to Friday night again so I could at least have time to watch this?
I'm gonna need about, let's just say 5 hours to myself.
Just 5. You know, that's all I'm asking. You know, I mean, fuck. If it really needs to happen, I don't mind staying up into all night and just watching it, because I know it'll be posted. She's probably gonna be jet lagged and tired anyway, so she can go to bed. I'll get up. I'll just come out here, and you know, she is a very light sleeper though. So like, I feel like I'm like gonna have to like watch it on like fucking like I'm gonna have to put on my headphones and like watch it on my like monitor. But then she's gonna get up and like it's gonna be a spooky scene, and I'm gonna like turn around and
what the fuck?
What the fuck?
Like, don't sneak up on me like that.
But yeah, I'm genuinely excited for volume 2, and I'm excited to know that we at least have, you know, 2 more episodes coming. I thought it was gonna be more, but it's not. It's only 2. So yeah. I don't know why they didn't decide to do like maybe like, you know, 4 and 3 or something like that. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
4
4 and 5.
4 and 5 or 5 and 4 or something like that. It's like that's like the most interesting split I've ever seen. It's like, okay, we're gonna do 7, then we're gonna do 2.
But I guess it's just the way that episode 7 ends, you know, and like the way it's like, okay, full circle. We know exactly, and Elle has her powers back. That's another big thing. Elle didn't have her powers. And then the whole reason they're doing this, what was it called again? Operation Nina.
Oh, the Nina Project?
Yes, Nina Project. So the whole reason they're really doing that is for Elle to get her powers back. And I love that whole scene whenever she finally does get them back, and everything like is like all the from like the lights and stuff is like trickling around her, and like everyone's like blown back. I was like, here we fucking go. Here we go. Yes. So she has her powers back, pretty sure. Hopefully, you know. Hopefully, yeah, because she's gonna need them, obviously, for volume 2.
It's very interesting too, because Vecna and her both know each other. So it's like, it's interesting to know that she's always the one to save their asses, and because she actually knows this villain and now knows his backstory and knows him as he was before this, I think that she might be able to use everything in his mind against him, you know, like, and that honestly though, like, part of me won't be upset if he doesn't die in the finale of season 4, because I kind of really like this villain. I actually wouldn't mind if he was like the villain that kind of like fleshes out the remainder of the show. Honestly, I would honestly be okay with that.
I really like him too, because like, to me, like, how are we gonna top this? Because like, yeah, we've had like the Demogorgon, but we never got a backstory really to like to them, which you don't need for that sort of, I guess, creature. But like, Vecna was a person, and still takes like, even though Demogorgons, they have like the shape of a person, but like they're not a person. But this was a person. This is like a full-on slasher sort of villain, which is really cool.
Oh my god, fucking speaking of the Demogorgon, we didn't even talk about that fucking scene at the prison. We really didn't touch on Joyce, the what's his face, what the hell's his name, Murray,
Murray.
Yeah, fucking
Freaking,
master.
but they're
Yeah,
they're badasses.
dude,
Again,
literally.
Joyce saves the freaking day pretty much. She gets that doll, and it's sent from Russia that says Hop is alive, which we already knew he was alive. Super happy he's fucking alive. Really glad he was. Still is. So, and they go to fucking Alaska to do a little trade off, and then Yuri, little asshole, which I knew was gonna happen when they were drinking that coffee. I was like, oh fuck, that is drugged. And then Yuri tricks them basically, and are taking them to fucking Russia to go turn them in because Joyce is definitely wanted because of the whole end of season 3. They have her pictures and shit, so she's definitely like wanted by them basically. But that scene with Hopper and Joyce, it is so sweet. As soon as, he gets that look, I was like, oh my god, she's right there. I know she is. And when they like hug, and he like stops hugging for a second and like looks at her again and hugs her back and smiles again, wanted to cry. So freaking sweet. And like that's the end that we see with them. So right now they're still, and also like they have no idea what's going on. They have no idea Vecna, fucking that 11 was taken. Well, she chose to go. I wouldn't say she was taken. She did choose to go. But still, she's fucking gone. Everyone's spread out and all this shit's going on. It's really crazy that they have no idea.
Yeah,
so,
I know.
There's gonna be some shit for them to get home to.
Hopper, I can't wait to see his reaction because he's getting saved from one hell and is about to get thrown into another hell. Like, dude, just watching Hopper, like, I'm like fucking sad for him because it's like, dude's gonna be tired. Dude's gonna be jet lagged. Dude's gonna be fucking like, But now we've got the other guy along with him. You're right. I'm curious to see how they're going to get involved now with these final 2 episodes because, fucking Hopper and the Demogorgon scene is just a fucking bloodbath. Like when it's just fucking like taking, it's crazy, and it's like opening its mouth, and then you actually get the close up of like fucking like the head and everything. Yeah. Like it's insane. So
it's so good. And then Hopper and there's a good like callback to season 3 when Joyce has to like close the gate, and again she has to like close the doors of like the gate. It's like close the gate. I was like, oh god. Flashback to season 3 when she had to close the gate. But when Hopper fucking takes that thing and like throws it kind of reminded me of like Jeepers Creepers 2 when he gets stabbed in the face and like the way his face is like contorted on it. Great scene. But the Demogorgon, it's still alive. So I wonder, like, I'm sure something's gonna happen with that as well.
Yeah.
Because it's still alive.
Yeah.
But
no, I'm definitely
excited for them to all reunite. I'm just ready for the moment for them to reunite.
Me too.
Because I'm a cry.
I know. I'm so excited. I can't wait to see what is going to happen. So, and guys, we will be doing another spoiler stream after. We're probably going to do it the week after it premieres, so that way you guys can have the weekend to watch it, enjoy it, think about it, bring your theories and bring everything here for season 5 when you guys are done too, because I'm sure we'll talk about that as well. That'll probably be a beefy stream because we'll probably recap on season 1 and then talk about the last 2. But as of right now, the remainder of the month, Destiny and I are still working out details on what the remainder of the episodes are going to be. We do know that the end of June, we're doing Jaws leading up to July 4th. I know Destiny is very excited about that. So with all that being said, if you guys are watching this later on, please leave comments in the comment section so we can see what your guys' thoughts are on Stranger Things Season 4, Volume 1. Anybody that wants to come over to the Lays Boys channel, we're getting ready to literally go right into another stream. We're going to be talking Call of Duty tonight, the new Modern Warfare 2 trailer, and some other stuff. So Destiny's like, and I'm going to bed. So
honestly, yeah.
So if you guys want to join us over there, we'd love to have you guys over and meet some new peeps, meet Rocky, Blair, Misael. They're all great. If not, then we will see you guys next week on Fear Freaks. Before we go, Destiny, do you have anything coming up this week that you want to share?
Tomorrow, the final goals will be on Kyle's channel for top 5 moments of the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. And
Woo!
I think that's it, actually. I think that's it.
Perfect. Me, I've just got regularly scheduled videos coming. I will be posting a fucking video tomorrow about the Nev Campbell shit going on, so be on the lookout for that with my thoughts. I finally have time. I've gathered them. I've gathered all of my thoughts. We're going to talk about it. Destiny's like, please don't do that. So, with all that being said, post comments down below. Let us know, what do you guys think of Stranger Things Season 4, Volume 1? Thank you for all of our viewers tonight that tuned in. We're very excited to continue talking about great movies and everything with y'all. And I hope you guys all have a great weekend. And we will see you guys next week on Fear Freaks. Take care, all.
Good night.